Well, here we are today with another Inspired Good Fat Life podcast. And I'm Sherri Richards. Our host. And I want to bring attention to our magazine. We have a magazine. And the podcast is the opportunity to kind of bring the magazine to life. So Good Fat Life magazine and Inspired Good Fat Life podcast. And today I have a very special guest, Charlene Bush, and she works with Two Men in a Truck. And the reason that you might wonder, well, what does Two Men in a Truck have to do with Good Fat Life? And actually the answer is lots of things. The story of how Two Men in a Truck came to be is fascinating. And so we'll talk about that a little bit, but also one of the things that's really important to me at Good Fat Life is to give back to the community. And I don't know, many of you probably don't know that I'm working on my PhD in conscious entrepreneurship. And people are like, well, what is that? Well, it's about doing work and creating in the world in a way that gives back to the community and elevates everybody. That's kind of like my quick and dirty explanation. So it's really important. And at Good Fat Life, it's really important that we work with and celebrate and recognize people that do care about the world that they live in. And so, Charlene, welcome.
Well, thank you. Good morning. I think what you're doing sounds fascinating. And so, yes, I would love an opportunity to hear more about that at some point. And your jingle was fantastic. So I'm all energized and excited now.
Well, good. So tell us, first off, Good Men in a Truck. So the story, it's such an amazing story. So go ahead and tell.
It's a fascinating story. And who would have thought? So two boys, home from college, looking to earn some money for beer, and they've got a pickup truck, so they're out picking up junk for people. And when they went back to school, the phone continued to ring, and so their mom called them and said, "Hey, the phone keeps ringing. Do you mind if I keep this going?" And so she hired two movers, and she bought a box truck, and soon one box truck became two. And she, somewhere along the line, met another woman who had a business and was going to franchise it. And so this woman suggested to Mary Ellen that she franchise her business. And she's like, well, people seem to need the service, and I don't really know anything about franchising, but okay, we'll give it a try. And that was in the mid-'80s. And so here we are all these years later, and we're a nationwide company, and we've got franchises in Canada. We've got one in England and one in Ireland, and we just continue to grow.
So, I mean, what a great story, right?
Absolutely.
And I hope one day that we're having this conversation about Good Fat Life, about how we're, a household name, right?
I think that would be fantastic.
Because people then understand the importance of eating good fat and its impact on living a high quality life.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Right? The idea that fat was bad for you took off, and
didn't we all try that?
Yeah,
diet?
we all tried that.
Diet.
Yeah,
none of it worked.
Low fat, no fat, and we all just got fatter. Go figure. But so, anyways, it's just a wonderful story, and it just shows that so much is possible.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
And I love that. And you guys do great work. I mean, in my previous life, I worked with with Two Men in a Truck.
Small world.
Small world,
this.
right?
Yes.
And I used to go.
Connection.
You were one of my clients for box trucks.
Nice.
And so I know the company well. I would go to your trade shows and got to meet all the dealers from all over the country, and it was great. I loved it. I really looked forward to going to your shows because they were so much fun, and the people were just nice people who cared.
Yes, and that is our tagline, and we really, really try to embody that in everything that we do. So I'm glad it's kind of come full circle and we get to have this conversation.
I know, isn't it? Small world.
Yes.
So tell me, so one of the things that you're doing is Movers for Moms campaign to support LACASA.
Absolutely.
So tell me about that.
Near and dear to my heart, giving back to the community is so important, and for so many reasons. And Movers for Moms, it's a national campaign, so every franchise participates every spring. And so some of the reason we do this is when Mary Ellen, her first year in business, she earned $1,000. And so she cut 10 checks for $100 each, and she gave it all to charity. And
Okay.
so that's how we started. So from the very, very beginning, giving back to the community, investing in the places that we work it's part of our core values. That's one of our core values, is giving back. And so it's something that every franchise participates in. And because we've got key women in leadership, giving back to women, we've got a woman founder, just very important to us, especially leading up to Mother's Day. And so with working with different shelter partners, a lot of the women that we're trying to help are victims of domestic violence or poverty, things like that. And it's a very difficult situation to be in. And if you're leaving in the middle of the night and you know that you're in a situation and you need to get out of it, you're not taking with you a suitcase. You're not putting all the things that you need, like your toothbrush, your deodorant, your shampoo. You're just getting out of the house. And so when you arrive at a shelter like LACASA, they're providing all of those basic necessities that you need for everyday life. And so that's where we come in with this campaign. So every franchise finds a shelter partner that they can support. We get a list of the items that are needed by that shelter so that they can then in turn do the great work that they do to help these women begin to recover and put their lives back together. So leading up to Mother's Day, we don't want any woman to feel forgotten or left behind on Mother's Day. So our campaign starts the end of March and it runs all the way through April. And then we're delivering everything that we've collected that first week of May.
Okay. So, no, that's really interesting. That's wonderful. I'm just feeling like I'm just sitting here just trying to not be emotional and to be present with what you're saying, right? Because I can't imagine what it feels like. And I've had some experiences of helping people leave in those circumstances. And it's incredibly stressful and devastating and all that goes with it, right? So how do, sorry, I'm just backing up as I'm thinking through this. So every organization in the country finds a shelter.
Right.
So every franchise. And so yours is LACASA. Is LACASA, and I get confused, is LACASA a national organization or is it a local organization?
A local organization.
Okay,
They're
right.
based in Howell.
Right, and they just do phenomenal work. So where would somebody who wants to help find the list of items that are donated? I'm assuming you can always use money too. Right?
Correct.
So
gift
cash,
cards,
items, gift cards. Okay, where would they go if they say, oh my gosh, I want to support? How do I find out more?
Our Facebook page, 2 Men in a Truck Brighton.
Okay.
So I have posted the list, what Movers for Moms is and who our collection partners are, and those continue to grow. And so I just want to say, too, as people are listening, if there is anyone that would like to participate, they can always reach out to me. They can find me on our website and send me an email.
Okay, and we'll post all of that on the show notes, so you're easy to find.
Oh, thank you. That would be fantastic.
And so when you say find you, or when you say to support, you can say either somebody who wants to be like a collection site. Is that what you're saying? A collection site, or receive donations.
Absolutely.
So both, I guess, both avenues, or both people with both those interests could find you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. If you've got a business and you've got walk-in traffic and you want to have a box, we supply the boxes, we supply the posters, we pick everything up at the end of the campaign. Or if you just, if you're just a listener and you want to be able to donate shampoo, conditioner, brushes, just basic essential care items, you can always reach out to me. I can give you, I'll come and get it from you. I can tell you where to take it to, but all of that is on our website and our Facebook page as well.
Okay, all right. And so, like, how many donation locations are there around?
Right now, it's continuing to grow.
I'm sure.
So just as of yesterday, I secured 4 more locations. So we've got probably about 10 right now.
Okay.
But our area is Howell, Brighton, Heartland. So I'm looking for collection partners in each of those cities so that it's easier for people to get items
To the
wherever they're living.
Okay. And so I've all these questions. So, and for our listeners who aren't in our local area, if they wanted to contribute, then they would just look for the 2 Men in a Truck in their area.
Correct.
Okay.
And another thing too, if you are listening and maybe you live in Fenton, we don't have a collection site. There is an Amazon link that I have also posted that LACASA put together. So if you wanted to go directly to that link off of Amazon Smile, their wish list is right there, and you can order items and have them drop shipped directly to LACASA.
Oh, okay, great. So you can just send new stuff.
Exactly.
Great. And what about, and if you live in Nashville, for example, you could look and see where the local 2 Men in a Truck is, the closest is, and find out what shelter that they're supporting.
Absolutely.
As well. Okay. All right. Because I really want to be sure that our listeners, because they're not all in this area, they're all over the place, have the opportunity to participate in this amazing campaign, Movers for Moms campaign. I love that. And right around Mother's Day. So another question is, do you take items that are gently used?
So that's a great question. Depending on where you live, each shelter has their own set of criteria that they need to meet.
Okay.
So in some instances, new things. In some instances, depending on the services that they provide, they might take gently used. So with LACASA, for instance, they have a store. So if you've got gently used clothing, that might be able to go to the LACASA collection.
Okay.
And it's a resale shop. So the women that are being helped by LACASA, they get, I think, like a gift card, but some sort of currency token, something, so that they can go and shop for everyday apparel.
Right, because if you're leaving in a rush, you don't have much.
No, not
right.
You might be leaving with nothing.
Right.
You grab your kids and you go. So again, it just depends on who the shelter partner is and what resources they have available. So that information you can find on the website.
Okay, great. I'm just thinking I had made the commitment to my husband that I would clear out some of my...
I love that. It's spring cleaning. That's
right?
what you're doing, right?
Right, exactly. And I was thinking about that, and I was like, it's time to start doing that. But this just gives me, this is like, okay, it's so much easier to do something.
It's motivation.
When you have a reason, right? And so I can envision somebody getting a use out of it that's going to make their day maybe a little brighter or easier. Then it's like a spoonful of sugar, right?
Yes. And so if I can put in a shameless plug, this lovely blouse that I'm wearing came from the LACASA collection.
Okay.
So I have a daughter who loves to go thrifting, and that's one of her favorite places to go. So she picks out my apparel for me because she thinks that I need to be updated just a little bit.
Well, how great that she does that in such a loving way, right? Instead of
it's very loving, trust me. She's so much fun.
Instead of like, Mom, seriously?
There have been a few of those moments, but she's still great to shop with.
That's great. And that is so much fun, right? When you find those treasures.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, this is so inspiring. Now really this weekend, I promised that I would go through the piles that have accumulated in the closets in the guest room and on my dresser and stuff. So
I think that's great.
Yeah. So I will definitely do that. And if I say I'll do it, I'll do it. So thank you for getting that commitment from me.
I am so happy to help.
Yes. And my husband will appreciate you too. So how long have you guys been doing this?
Movers for Moms, this is our 15th year.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. And do you have any stories to share of people that have benefited?
What comes to mind for me? So giving back to the community, this is a great opportunity, but it's the partnerships and the relationships that we build. So we have had some opportunities where LACASA has actually called us and said, we've got a woman and we've helped her, and now we're moving her into more permanent housing. She does not have the money to be able to move herself. Can you guys help? And so we've had some really cool opportunities to be able to provide moving services at no cost to this person so that they can finally get started in a life, in a safe place, something that's their own. So those are great stories. And then one of the other ones too that's for me really special is when the LACASA collection opened, they had donated racks and display cabinets and things like that. And so we provided the labor and were able to go pick those items up and then bring them to the new store. And my son was working for Two Men in a Truck at the time. And so I have pictures of him at the store moving things in. And so I just thought that, like, proud mom moment, I thought that that was just fantastic. So
it is, and it's a great way to teach our children
yes,
to give back and to get that feeling, because there's no other way that you can get that heartfelt feeling
right,
than when you're actually giving back.
and so our movers and drivers, they love these opportunities. Like if they know that we've got a charity move coming up, they're asking, hey, can I go out there? So it gives them a sense of purpose and accomplishment and helps them to really live out our core values and to see what it's like to be a part of giving back to the community. So just great opportunity all the way around. It fills everybody's cup.
Wow. And I love that you've created, 15 years is a long time, but I love that you've created a network. So it's not just something that you do one and done kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's an ongoing relationship building thing. And I really didn't know about the store. I guess I kind of heard about it, but I didn't really, it hadn't clicked that I could take things there.
Well, now you know.
Now
so
I know,
just
yeah.
in case your husband's like, hey, let's keep cleaning.
Now
It's
I
going
know.
to good use.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And it's in our community, and it's another way that Good Fat Life can help connect some dots, which is really important for what we do too.
Right.
Is to be part of the community and to use the tools that we have to let people know, to shout from the rooftops, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that that's so important, and just the relationships that we build and connecting those dots, finding the resources and where can we plug ourselves in and how can we help and how can we support. It's just a great network that way.
Well, good. So, all right, I love what you're doing, and so people can find you on Facebook.
Yes.
At 2 Men in a Truck, and details about the Movers for Moms campaign, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. And then we will post your contact information. And what else? Is it on your website?
It is. So we do have our community partners on our page, so people can find information there.
Okay.
And then if you post in the comment section, just my contact information, if they need to contact me directly via email.
Okay.
That would be, thank you guys so much.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, this is exciting. I mean, I'm like excited to go clean through stuff, which trust me, I wasn't when I walked into this room.
Let me know when you're halfway through that, how that's still going for you.
How that's still going.
Right.
Well, I don't know about you, but it's kind of that it's always around the season and weight.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
Where my weight is, and do I fit in this? Am I going to fit in this? Is it, and COVID, since there were things that we didn't wear for a couple years, now looking at it, it's like some things I like and some things I, feel like maybe it's just time to go.
I feel the same way. And I think like each spring, it's like almost like a renewal. So we're kind of looking at our life and we're looking at what fits and what do I need to change at this point? Do I need to streamline my eating for that summer body, as people call it? Do I need to update my wardrobe? Do I need to refresh? What things do I need to move in and what things do I need to move out?
Right. Oh, that's so beautifully said. And that's so true.
Oh, I didn't even think about move in and move out. That kind of correlates with moving.
I didn't even make that connection, but yeah, that was very elegant, the way that you said it, eloquent, because that is true.
Right.
When the weather gets a little warmer, we are thinking about new beginnings and fresh and I love one of the big things too with Good Fat Life. We're really about sustainability, and I don't buy fast fashion. if I buy something, it's good quality and it's more timeless.
Right.
And so the idea that it can go support somebody in their new life really it feels good.
Absolutely, it does.
It feels good. So Charlene, I kind of had got the inkling that there were more things that Two Men in a Truck does in the community. Do you want to share a couple things?
I would love to, and I get very excited about this because it's my favorite part of the job. We give back as much as we can. So one of the things that we do is 1% of our previous use revenue we do in charity. So we've got a lot of 501c3 organizations that we work with. And then once we have that on file, if they need any sort of moving help or if they need a truck, then we can provide the logistics for a lot of different things. And so one of our newest partnerships, and it's through our Farmington location, but there's a wonderful organization called Fleece and Thank You. And so what they do is they deliver blankets to children in the hospital so that they have some comfort, some softness, and businesses can participate and put blankets together and then leave a video message that will get to this child. And so they needed help to get blankets from their warehouse out to the different hospitals in Michigan. And so that's something that we've been able to provide as some of that logistical piece that they needed. And I just get so excited about that part of what Two Men in a Truck does. We were founded on giving back from the very beginning. It's something that we continue to do. And my personal philosophy is that people like to do business with people that are giving back and contributing to the community. It builds a sense of trust.
Sure.
And if you think about, okay, you're packing up your house and you're moving.
Right.
You're putting all your treasured possessions in somebody's hands. This is a lifetime of memories that you've built. And who do you want to move that stuff? I would love people to see us out helping in the community. And then when it's time to move, they're thinking, Two Men in a Truck was out helping with this, and we saw them with this, and they were out at this breast cancer walk, or they were out at, whatever these different events are. Or we also partner, and this is a national organization, so many Two Men in a Truck franchises get to participate, but there's an organization called Charities, and they do team buildings where big organizations can put together, they call them these little green boxes of cheer, and these boxes get delivered to children's hospitals all over the U.S. and veterans hospitals. And so Two Men in a Truck's all over the place. My daughter just participated last week with an event at I think it was the Franciscan Children's Hospital out in Boston, where a team put together these boxes, and then Two Men in a Truck picked them up. We brought them to the hospital, and then we get to be a part of going out and delivering. So you get to see just the joy and the comfort that these people that are the recipients of these boxes.
Oh my gosh, I've never heard of that. It sounds amazing. All of these are wonderful things, right?
It's fantastic. It's the best part of the job.
And everything you're talking about, it's like, sign me up. I want to participate, right?
Well, next time I'm looking for volunteers, I'm calling you.
Okay. Fair enough. I would love to participate in all of those. Wow. So who knew?
Right. So thank you for allowing me an opportunity to be able to share. I could talk about this all day because all of these different organizations that are doing such wonderful work in the community keep coming to mind, and I could share all day. But we're just really blessed to be able to take what we do and to be able to do it in a way that it benefits others.
Absolutely. Oh, I love that. So I'm just energized and excited and so grateful for you and the work that you do and that Two Men in a Truck does. And like I said, I loved it. It's so funny that I'm with Two Men in a Truck after being, in the corporate world working with Two Men in a Truck, with the trucks.
I think that's fantastic. I mean, it's just a great story that we both came from different places, but here we are sharing the same company, and it's just a wonderful organization, and they really do care about the community. And I think it's just I love that I get to share this.
Right. Well, and the one of the things too that we have talked a couple times on different shows is how when you're young, you think that you have to make a decision, and that decision you make is going to affect you for your whole life, right? And young people have so much pressure on them right now
Oh,
around
yes,
that.
they do.
But this conversation just is another evidence, if you will, that when you kind of just show up, and do your day, you never know when something that you did years ago is going to cycle back and have relevance to your day to day.
It's like a box of treasures,
Yeah.
and they just show up randomly, and it kind of connects everything together. And so just the experiences that you have shape who you are, and they continue to show up in different places in your life. And it's just, so now we have this great thing in common, and
Right.
I love that.
Right. And it's just kind of all good. And so just to relax and enjoy being in the moment, enjoying what you're doing right now, because it'll lead you to the next one. Right?
Exactly. Yes.
Right?
And
So
that's just all part of our story.
Yeah. Great. Well, all right. It's been such a joy having you, Charlene.
Thank you so much. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I look forward to learning more about your magazine and hearing more about what you're going to school for. So
Yeah. Conscious entrepreneurship. I even have a hard
love
time saying
that.
it, but it's fascinating, and it's like, who knew? I always wanted to go back to school and get my PhD, but I wanted to do it in a way that really was exciting and inspiring to me. I didn't want to do it to just fulfill the requirements to have the degree.
Right.
I wanted to do it in a way that was, it's like I couldn't wait to do the research, to do the study, to do the writing, because it's a lot of work.
It was your passion, more or less.
Right.
And that makes all the difference.
And now it is. I mean, I just can't wait to have my classes and to do my assignments. And, some of it is a little like, it's not easy,
Right.
But it's inspiring. So that's a good thing.
That is a very good thing.
Right.
And it sounds like it's very well worth it too.
Yeah. And I also wanted to, I have 4 grandkids, and I also,
Congratulations.
yes, thank you. They are my joy. And I mean, I love my children too. So
Right. Of course. That goes without saying.
Right. But grandkids are incredibly special. But I also wanted to, they're going to be part of my graduation ceremony, and all of them.
Love that.
And I wanted to also show that, we're never too old. It doesn't matter where we are. It's until we take that last breath, we can always grow and learn and contribute in some way.
I'm glad you said that, because I think sometimes we limit ourselves by our
Absolutely.
age or just where we are in our life. So I'm really glad that you said that. I think that that's so important.
Yeah, I had when my grandfather, a couple days before he passed, and he was just shy of 90.
Wow.
I walked in to see him, and he was telling me about a new recipe he saw that he couldn't, he hadn't had the ability to cook a roast for years, but he loved it, and he was so inspired by it. He goes, "Oh, Sherri Lynn, I have to tell you about this new roast recipe." And I was like, okay, and the way he described it, you could see it, you could smell it, you could taste it. And it was just in his imagination.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Right? Yeah. So that's I had some great role models.
Oh,
And,
lucky you. That's a blessing.
And I just wanna be that for my grandkids too, right?
I have a feeling you are.
Yeah. So it's a work in process. But anyway, so again, thank you so much for being here. And please, to our viewers, check out Movers for Moms campaign, and in Brighton, Michigan area, it's supporting LACASA. But check out the Movers for Moms wherever you live. Go to your 2 Minute in a Truck website and see what's going on in your community.
Thank you so much. This was so much fun.
Okay, thank you. Thanks.